To what do I owe the pleasure?
That's sarcasm. He takes no pleasure from your appearance.
Of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn water lock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the A81. Oh, good. We should really be getting back. Gary could use a hot shower and a warm bed.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, Gary. We can go soon. If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long.
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we're going. Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find, which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it. Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information... Not yet. That's what makes it a...
Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence...
I know it's real.
It's clear that his obsession with the phasmid is driven by some...
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian I have to resist the thought.
He means asexual reproduction. The females of the species don't need to mate to produce viable eggs. This makes it easy.
Yes, the Insulindian phasmid is a very clever insect.
So I kind of want to... There sort of wasn't anything else around this bit, was there?
Rust peels off the bent iron posts of the swing. The wind whistles through the skeleton of the small house behind you. There's desolation everywhere.
In this yard?
Like a grey swallow takes up.
He's assessing the situation. How long ago was it abandoned?
Someone thought they could have a summer house in a bloc obscure, for cheap. It didn't work out. They abandoned it about a decade ago. Practically, it's not an official term in any way, but look around. No sewage, broken power lines, crime, drunks. Life is tough in the blocks. It's no place to build a summer house. Yes, and you picked it up as part of the Jamrock shuffle.
It's not meant as nagging, just an observation.
We should move. I don't think we will solve the murder with forays into the urban hinterland, at least in this phase of the investigation.
The tear machine. Your bottles clunk into the machine.
Is this about the questions again? Because
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all bear the Saint-Baptiste Pharmaceutics logo.
okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something.
This medicine cabinet is stocked with drugs, plus an old toothbrush, and
Chemistry.
this medicine cabinet is stocked with drugs, plus a bright orange bottle with peptide stamped on it, in sunny, happy letters. Jackpot, baby. That's the stuff you're looking for. Your palms begin to sweat just holding that little plastic container. And your chest swells with pride. Look, it's made right here in Revachol by Saint-Baptiste, a proud Revacholian pharmaceutical company with great traditions. You dropped it, smack dab in the middle of the floor. There it is, orange as the midsummer evening sun, or the lieutenant's bomber jacket. Wow, that's unbelievably orange. Anyone can see that. It's practically effervescent. The lieutenant tries to keep his eyes on the door, but the peptide bottle sounds like a rattlesnake. It's basically a percussion instrument that you're stuffing into your pocket. Who cares, man? Who cares what the stiff thinks? You got it. Here comes the afterburner. Just put it in your sweaty little hand now. This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo, smooth as ice. There are spots of mud and rain on the outside, even smudges. But the surface of the window is clear from the inside. No chips, no hairline fractures. Following your lead, the lieutenant leans in closer to inspect the surface.
Looks like it, yes.
Officer, It's a fine day for questions. It sounds like the boys would have preferred my saying it did happen. I didn't want to get caught up in this. What does that recording say?
We are in the process of listening to it, but haven't yet.
She nods, exhaling a dense cloud of cigarette smoke.
Yeah? It is.
The lieutenant makes a note in his notebook.
All right. Not my favorite topic, but okay. How about we, change the subject to something more lighthearted now?
She looks at the dried petals in your palm. Chipped white polish covers the nail. It's long and
Pretty. Looks like a dried maybell. Is that the one you caught? Sambo style? Why was there a flower on the roof? I don't know, officer. Because of the wind?
Put it on the side.
Sure.
And the kitten.
The record.
What was it
So
she said she'd talk to me
official.
about later? Ask him about the dead man.
Officer, it's a fine day for questions. Sure. The record. So official. Officer, it's a fine day for questions.
Oh, she needs more time to play herself. Oh, I see.
you take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month. With a confident flourish, you complete your forgery. What do you see on the signature line? Indeed, they look distinctly different and very convincing. These might as well be their actual signatures.
Good. Everatt will have to start over with his scheming. When Isabel and Lillian dispute the signatures, the document will be rendered null and void. Any halfway competent notary should be able to handle this. Not getting their actual signatures was probably the best thing to do. Now all we have to do is mail these. I think I saw a mailbox on the plaza.
As you hold it in your hands, it makes an uncomfortable crunching sound. It's a sordid, filthy tale, not for the weak. Are you sure you can stomach it? Some secrets are better left uncovered. Don't even try. Seriously, it occurs to you that you're not even holding the jacket itself, but rather the thick crust of jetsam and seagull shit that ensconces it. It smells like a dead sea creature, tangled in grey strands of seaweed. It must have spent quite some time in the water before the tide deposited it ashore. Somehow, it was carried or dragged to the boardwalk. If not by human hands, then perhaps the feral dogs that prowl the beaches at night. The faint impressions of many footprints are also present, though it's impossible to tell what kind or how many. Suffice to say, the jacket spent some time on the ground before someone draped it over the railing. The crust is hard. This jacket spent at least a day baking in the sun. Who knows what happened to it then? Somewhere, high above the city, a pair of seagulls trace loops through the air. They are like the bombardiers of the aerostatic brigades. gliding above a target-rich environment. All of a sudden, the Bombay doors open, and their white glittering payload rushes to the ground. Splat! An explosion of white on a man's shoe. A curse goes up, but the birds do not hear. It's too late. You've already thought about it, and now your hands are covered in muck. Now you're just flicking that shit everywhere. This is a disaster. You'll never get the smell out. The library card is folded into two and still slightly wet to the touch. The front side reads, Central Jamrock Public Library Card, issued to Billy Mejean, expires July 53. Billy is a unisex name. Could be the deceased, or his family member. Whoever owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. Radio thriller. Stand a little less between me and the sun. The last one in the list is The Glinting Curve by M. Theobald. A library stamp indicates that the book has been returned. Most of these titles seem to be in the sci-fi genre. Some thrillers too. If lost, please return the card to the library. Dial 005 02 55211 or visit us at Moreau Street, 78, Jamrock. Business hours, 900 to 1800.
Good. We should give them a call from my kinema. See if we can learn anything about Billy Mejean.
Good idea. There was plenty of information here to go by. There's no way to listen to the tape without a working tape player or portal reel at hand. A pawn shop would have a tape player.
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again. Goodness, how is he? Did he say why he hasn't returned yet?
He's fine, ma'am. As we had suspected, he couldn't get back earlier because the water lock on the canal was broken.
Oh, yes. That's my morale. But I am so relieved to...
Now maybe she'll open up about those fascinating cryptids. Take her mind off all this. There's really no point in manipulating anyone. She'd be only too pleased to tell you about her work. Go on and ask.
Oh, I'd be delighted. Truth be told.
One cryptid, not a couple. One. This won't turn into some kind of cryptid extravaganza.
He nods and assumes a waiting posture. Cryptids. Let's... Ooh, tough choice there.
The gnome of Jeroma. Oh, yes. None of its victims survived. Grieving relatives never even found their bodies because the gnome's venom dissolved. It was, reportedly, a small creature with webbed fingers and a protruding... A couple of campers found it. It's still...
If the body of the creature was found, why aren't there detailed...
Alas, the first scientists who could instead...
Alas. Always alas, and then it was gone. Isn't that, sure, a perfectly good
Of course, dear.
Officer, I prefer the old name, Insulindian Lily. Girls brought them to young cadets when they entered service. Wearing them on your cap was supposed to bring good luck. It used to be. But the communards were fond of them too. Call them revolutionary flowers. Bells of the revolution. You know what? No. They brought me misery, false hope, and disappointment. The revolutionaries sullied them.